And then after this live stream's done, I'll upload some of the live stream snippets. So basically, like this video here, this is like a normal JY's TV video, but I thought, you know what, bun it, I'll do a live stream version, yeah? So instead of me pre-recording this and upload this, I'll do a live stream. I was supposed to have done this a couple of days ago, but yeah. I think that 1 minute's up. Yeah, so after this is done, I'll upload about 2 or 3 of the live stream snippets and that. So this video is about living whilst black or something like this, like that. Now I've got 2 videos that I'm going to be watching, reacting to, and that. Obviously I've seen a tiny bit of this, and the second video I've seen it. So this is just like a little warm-up thing in it, but the next video, the second video, that's the main video. And yeah, I wanted to make talk about that video as soon as I saw it, but might have been too busy, and that's why I'm gonna do it now, innit? Well, after this video.
A number of recent incidents in this country have highlighted how racial tension or bias, even what social scientists call unconscious bias, can escalate. This spring and summer, those concerns have taken on new urgency and risen to national attention, as otherwise routine events have turned into confrontations among citizens and sometimes with the police. Yamiche Alcindor explores this issue further now. It's part of our Race Matters reporting.
Several of the latest confrontations have involved white citizens calling police on African Americans engaged in typical everyday activities, including a 12-year-old mowing lawns near Cleveland, Ohio, 2 men barbecuing at a public park in Oakland, California, or this 8-year-old girl selling bottled water without a permit outside the San Francisco Giants ballpark. The woman who called police here being captured on cell phone video posted by the girl's mother.
Girl, you can hide all you want. The whole world gonna see you, boo.
Yeah, and illegally selling water without a permit?
What?
The woman
What the fuck is wrong with some white people? Like, I swear, I feel like some of them feel it's their duty to, I don't even call snitch, but yeah, basically informing and grassing people up over trivial things that don't mean nothing. How the fuck you seeing a local youth selling bottled water, whether they got a license or not? Why are you making it your business to call the fucking police to stop their activities? Like, this is what's wrong with you. This is why people are not successful. They're focusing their attention, they're putting energy into things that got nothing to do with them.
who made the call later apologized and denied her actions were racially motivated. Most of the incidents took place outside and in public and were caught on video that often went viral. While none of those incidents resulted in arrests or charges being filed, they followed other high-profile confrontations, including one in May that took a much more violent turn. Police in Warsaw, North Carolina, responded to a call from Waffle House employees over an alleged argument with a black patron. An officer slammed 22-year-old Anthony West into a wall and choked him. They said West, who had taken his sister to her high school prom earlier that night, was uncooperative. He was later charged with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. The CEO of Waffle House later apologized to West privately. And in early April, 2 black men were arrested in a Philadelphia Starbucks when employees...
Like, even with this corona bullshit, I've seen videos. Like, there was one video where there was at a Shell petrol garage. So a Shell petrol station, and I thought it was the one in Tottenham, but it weren't. You had this white couple, they were trying to perform a citizen's arrest on, I think, some Somalian man, just because the guy was not wearing a fucking face mask. Like, are you serious, bro? Like, you feel that you've got the power to try and citizens arrest someone because they're not wearing a fucking face mask? Like, this is just the mentality of some of these people, man. It's ridiculous. I've had people, like, all the time, like, even today, I had a guy, I don't even know if he's a security guard or some fucking employee, try to chase me around Poundland, talking about, oh, wear a mask. I just ignored him, you know, just kept it moving. I've had to tell people to shut their mouth, like, shout at them, you know, in Tesco's, B&Q, in front of everyone, because they're trying to talk about, oh, wear your mask and that. It's just dumb. Like, there's some people, they feel like they can go around and tell people what to do and like they have some power or something like that, man. I have to stick it on these people, man.
Called police because the men had taken a table without ordering anything. The men were later released and settled with the city for $1 each and a pledge to establish a program for young entrepreneurs. The founder of Starbucks personally apologized to the men.
As I shared with you in Philadelphia, it was a reprehensible situation that we took complete ownership of, and something that really was embarrassing, horrifying, and all the issues that we talked about that day.
And the company closed thousands of its stores nationwide a month later for a one-day employee training session on how to recognize and overcome implicit or unconscious bias in their decision-making. All of this comes at a time when police behavior and response is under scrutiny, particularly when it comes to detaining and arresting Black people. On June 19th, police in East Pittsburgh shot and killed 17-year-old Antoine Rose as he fled a car. The vehicle was stopped during the investigation of a drive-by shooting. Rose was shot 3 times in the back as he ran. The officer who fired the shots was later charged with criminal homicide.
Well, obviously I don't know the details and the technicalities of that case, but if the police are going to stop a car that was involved in a drive-by shooting, the police are automatically going to have their guns drawn. So I don't know the technicalities. I've not seen this because I've seen a tiny bit of this video that I'm watching now, but I ain't seen the whole thing. Like, I ain't got this far. I got up to about the first minute, and then I thought, alright, fuck it. I'll bring this in before I do the main video, just a little warm up and that. So I don't know nothing about that case. I've never seen that boy's picture, nothing like that in here. But one thing I do know is if the police them is investigating something to do with a murder or a shooting, something to do with guns, the police are going to have their guns drawn. I was about to call them armed police. Obviously, in America, all police are armed, innit? But in the UK, if the police are going to stop a car that was involved in a drive-by shooting, they're going to have their guns drawn because they're going to be afraid that my man there might have a strap on him, obviously. So, and obviously, I don't know what happened in this case. I don't know, you know. But I know, obviously, someone got shot and killed, I think, innit? But, you know, the police are going to have to be ready, innit? So, yeah, unfortunately, the boy passed away. And obviously, I don't know the technicalities and that, but all I do know is if that car really was involved in the drive-by shooting, then yeah, they're within their rights to have their guns drawn because they don't know what my man's coming out with. Just like my man that got shot in Tottenham, they don't know what my man's coming with. They don't know. I don't know if they knew he had a gun or if he really had a gun or not. But you know, a man's being suspected to have a gun and that. Armed police don't just come out for the fun of it, you know. Armed police are summoned, they're requested for a fucking reason. And that reason is someone's got a thing in the car, so they need to, you know, try and apprehend this person as safely as possible, and they have to protect themselves. Like that's like going to war without any weapons and that. There's no way you're gonna try and stop someone that you believe to have a gun without a gun. So what happens is the man starts barking and shooting at you, so you can't shoot back. They need to be prepared to take him out before, because you know these man them on road don't know how to shoot. These men, they'll be missing and hitting every other target apart from the ones that they're trying to hit. You hear all the time, stray bullet hit this person, stray bullet hit this, hit that person and that. So when the police come out with their guns drawn, they'll rather take him out rather than let him start shooting at them, potentially take out one of the police officers, potentially hit a random civilian and that. I think was it in America? I think it was in America. I don't think it was in the UK. Random shooting on the road. Some gang members were shooting each other. Some woman got shot in the eye, blind in one eye. So luckily she survived. She was driving her car and she got hit in the eye. All because them are shooting each other on the road. And these men don't know how to shoot. So bullets are just flying everywhere and that.
Many of these incidents have taken on hashtags and memes of their own, often referred to as living while black. We examined the concerns and some of the responses with the president of the NAACP, Derek Johnson. Derek Johnson, thanks so much for being here. I want to jump right in.
Yeah, they will be mad. Yeah, let them.
Incident of people calling the police on black people while doing regular everyday things like swimming and barbecuing. What do you think is at the heart of these incidents?
Well, we've seen since the president election in 2016 an increase of intolerance. You have individuals.
You see that comment there? Because obviously, this platform I'm on now, I'm using one thing called OBS. I'm not using StreamYard, but. So I can't highlight and throw up comments like I usually do, innit? But you see that comment there? A man said, black people will be so mad at you, Jay, LOL. They'll call you an Uncle Ruckus and that. You see, this is the thing with the black community. You're not considered a black person unless you have a problem with the police. You're not considered a black person unless you blame white people for your problems. You're not considered a black person unless you blame the government or you claim that the system is locking you up. This is what is wrong with black people, you know? Unless you have a problem with the police, you're not considered one of them or one of us. That is the mentality. So obviously I ain't having a pop at you, but this is one thing I've noticed about people them in the black community. Unless you have some kind of issue with the police or you have a hate or resentment from the police, then you cannot be black, which is just silly. It's foolishness.
Who simply see young kids and think they are criminals, they pose a danger. In my home city of Detroit, Michigan, a 14-year-old simply asking for direction to schools to get shot at. The level of intolerance is germinating directly from the White House.
Some people are criticizing the police, saying that they shouldn't respond when someone calls the police on an 8-year-old selling bottled water. What role do you think the police have, especially when the police say that they need to respond because if they're called, they need to engage?
Well,
if someone calls up the police and says, yeah, there's an 8-year-old selling bottled water, when the police turn up, and they find, because let's say they turn up, right? And they find, okay, yeah, what the person said is true. The child is selling bottled water. You know what they should do? They should slap the shit out of the person who fucking made the call. How dare you call the police on an 8-year-old selling bottled water? Like, that could be the next best entrepreneur out of that city. But you want to try and crush that kid's dreams because you feel like you need to uphold the law. There's something wrong with some of these people, you know. Like, see, that is one thing, yeah. Black people would not do that. I would put strong money on it, yeah. Out of 1 million black people, I don't think one of them would call the police on a fucking 8-year-old, whether the 8-year-old was black, white, Chinese, purple, or blue. A black person would not call the police on no 8-year-old for selling bottled water. Black people, we don't give a fuck. Yeah, we care about some of the wrong things and that, but when it comes to stuff like that, we have not got time for that foolishness. Like, we won't even call the police on someone who sells weed. Like, on my mum's road, there's man that come in and out and that, and they're selling drugs, and we're not talking about weed, we're talking about hard drugs. And none of the black people then phone up and say, oh, you know, report them, and none of the white people report them, but definitely black people, we ain't reporting nothing. We don't report nothing. But on the flip side though, black people, this no snitching culture, it goes too far. I know someone who's been murdered and their cousin, because they want to uphold this no snitching culture and that, their cousin was present when their people then was murdered and they didn't want to go and testify in court to lock this person up. Literally, it would have been a case where the family member of the deceased, so the family member of the person who died, they was there when their cousin was murdered, yeah? All they would have to have done was go to jail and said it was him. But because they want to uphold this, oh, I'm not snitching, and the murderer is walking free. And the murderer has breeded a gal. So he's taken a life, and he's also brought a life into the world. That don't sound fair to me. So black people, we take this no snitching culture a bit too far. Yeah, all right, fuck it. There's a youth across the road. He's selling weed. Fuck it. We're not going to snitch on him. Fuck it. All right, cool. We're not going to snitch on him, innit? But your cousin's been murdered, blood. Don't you feel like your cousin's people then, your cousin's mum and dad and that deserve you to go in court and get me and lock up the person who's... So now a murderer's walking free and he's breed a gal. So he took a life and he brought a life into the world. That don't sound fair to me. Now I'm not saying obviously any bad thing should happen to the kid that's brought into the world. They didn't ask to be born, but yeah, man.
Point. The police also need to take account that individuals are being falsely accused, and those who are accusing should also be facing criminal charges. How could anyone call the police on an 8-year-old selling bottled water?
Yeah, that's
the level
bullshit.
of intolerance is something that needs to be responded back to by the police. So if there's a false claim, those individuals who are making a claim should be charged.
And in some of these incidents, we see white people, white women calling the police on black people. These callers often say that they aren't motivated by race, they're just concerned citizens that want to talk to the police. What's your response, and what do you make of people saying that people should have a right to call the police if they have a concern?
Well, we're not suggesting no one shouldn't call the police, but implicit bias is something that we've seen across the country for many years. The difference now between the past is social media has allowed individual citizens to capture what's taking place, to report it, and or have a counter sense of information, the truth.
People are so disturbed by some of these incidents because we've seen lethal incidents where police have encountered unarmed African Americans and shot them unjustifiably. But we also see that Starbucks closed thousands of its stores to train its employees on implicit bias and unconscious bias. Are you at all encouraged by what you see Starbucks and others doing?
Well, when corporate citizens such as Starbucks understand the complexity of what's taking place, to take a step back, shut down the stores, take a loss to ensure that their employees understand the seriousness of misrepresenting someone's character or behavior, that's significant. Other corporations should take notes.
So what do you think the NAACP is doing or should be doing to kind of counteract some of the things you just talked about?
Well, presidential election is the high watermark of voter activity. Midterm elections is when activity go down. We're encouraging our voters, individuals who has a history of voting during presidential, we must go vote during this midterm elections. Elections have consequences, and we're living through those consequences.
But America had issues, race issues in particular, long before President Trump was elected to office. You referenced President Trump several times, but what do you make of the idea that this has been a long history, going back generations of people looking at African Americans and saying, hey, that's a criminal, I need to call the police, over criminalizing African Americans?
Well, yes, it has been going on a long time, but to normalize what's taking place, and that's what's happening now. There was a time that it would have been unheard of in the last 15 years to have a Charlottesville type rally. And over time, people say this is not right. But since the presidential election, we've seen a sharp increase. In fact, since the election of President Obama in 2008, we've seen this increase. And now there's a complete loss of civility in the public discourse, complete distrust, and media plays a key role.
Oh, there's a key thing he said there.
We have not seen in many, many years.
Well, he didn't. I don't think he made a point, but anyway, I'm just going to expand on. So he said President Obama. This is what I'm saying about politics and that. Stop electing these people. Stop relying on the government to fix your problems. You see this? So we had a black president, well, quote unquote black. He's mixed race, so I don't class mixed race people as black. I don't class them as white. They are slap bang in the middle. But let's just say, for argument's sake, a black president. So you had a black man in the white fucking house. What happened with the black community? I didn't see no improvement with in the black community in America. Someone let me know how Obama helped the black community. And he's quote unquote supposed to be a black person. That's what I'm saying. Stop relying on the fucking government to fix your problems. You are the problem. Yeah, fix yourself first, then go out and try and fix others and fix the community. But no, what everyone wants to do is everyone wants to rely on the government and everyone wants to go and fix other people instead of saying fuck the government and let's put fixing other people on hold and let's fix ourselves first. That's what people need to do. The proof is there. You had a black man in office. I don't know, how long was he in office for? 5 years or something like that? Not one improvement did I see. Now, if I've missed something, let me know. But I ain't seen no dramatic change in the black community since Obama was in office. I ain't nothing against him. It just goes to show you need to take control of your life. Don't be relying on no one else. You think the people who the powers above you or whatever, or I'll not even call it the powers above you, the people who are up there, head of state or whatever, they really affect your life. Like all this bullshit about the royal family are racist and that or whatever in it, yeah. Who gives a fuck? Let's say the royal family is racist. Who cares? Who cares? Do you think the royal family being racist has affected me? Do you think the royal family not being racist or being racist has affected me? How is the royal family being racist or not racist stop me from buying free properties? How is the royal family being racist or not racist stop me from committing crimes? It makes no difference to your life. But people want to get upset and that when they hear bullshit, and you see people really going on like ITV and discussing this shit. I'm thinking like, blood, like just I'll let them things they go over my head, you know. How has that really affected me? It's not affecting you. It's not affecting you. Like I say all the time, the government, all they can do is make things a little bit easier or a little bit harder for you. In the grand scheme of things, it don't really matter. It don't matter. The only time, you need to be worried about who's in power or whatever in the government is they want to do some social cleansing thing and they want to kill all foreigners. They want to kill all black people, want to, murder all Asian people. Like, yeah, then you got a problem with that. But other than that, you ain't got no fucking problem, bro. This is why I don't vote. Because how can vote? What's voting gonna do for me? I control my life.
So do you believe that if someone can then go to the ballot box, elect an official that cares about racial discrimination, cares about these issues, that's going to stop someone from calling the police on a girl who's selling bottled water? Do you think that this is something that's ultimately political, or do you think that there is a cultural change that needs to be happening here?
Well, it's an accountability question that I'm raising. Police officers only respond if there's accountability in place. So when you have accountable district attorneys to ensure that they will apply the law equally to bad actors, police officers, as they will criminals, then the police officers adjust their behaviors. If you have elected officials who are leaders in their communities and they put in place public policy to hold people accountable, then the level of intolerance will go away, and because there is an accountability measure that's in place.
You talked about the laws, you talked about policies, but what we're talking about is white citizens looking at an African-American child selling bottled water and saying, I need to call the cops. That's not a law that can change. That's someone's heart or someone's mind looking at that child and saying something needs to happen here.
Well, it's hard to legislate someone's heart. The only thing you can do is put accountability measures in place and hope that different communities embrace a multicultural reality where people can have greater appreciation and understanding.
I want to ask you about President Trump's nominee to the Supreme Court. We don't know who they are yet. However, a lot of these cases, lethal cases with police, they're ultimately litigated in the courts. In your opinion and in the view of the NAACP, what are some of the most important things that might come before the Supreme Court?
Right, there's only about 40 seconds, 45 seconds left of this clip, and then we'll get into the next one.
Established with the appointment of the last Supreme Court nominee should be the standard now. There should be anyone seated until after the new Senate is seated. That is because the Supreme Court is significant. We have the Voting Rights Act will be coming right back before the Supreme Court in the near future. You have all type of civil rights gains that we've seen over time will be coming before this court. And if we allow an activist court to undermine and wipe out the gains this country has made over the last 50 years, we will be a worse nation for that.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, Derek Johnson, the president of the NAACP.
Thank you.
Clip done. Next one. So, boom, 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 boom. So this is the video where I was saying I saw it the other day. Shout out Blue Channel. Oh, the thing's playing. Shout out Blue Channel. Yeah, let me put the Blue Channel. Let me see if I can spell it properly actually. So yeah, Blue Channel with 2 U's, yeah. I saw this clip on the Blue channel, so go to the Blue channel's Instagram, make sure you follow the page, man. I love the Blue channel's Instagram posts and that. So yeah, go follow a man like Mr. Blue. I saw this clip on his Instagram page. I thought, yeah. So this was about 2-3 days ago. I was like, yeah, definitely need to do a little reaction video to it, because I went to the video and I went to the comment section. Let me see if it's still there. I'm assuming I'll see the video still there. Well, actually, you know what? I'll play the video and then tell you people's comments and that, so it'll make sense. All right, boom. So basically, a black woman was stopped, yeah, by the police, yeah. The volume comes in a sec, yeah.
Just bring your bag out here. Ma'am, stop going through it. You come step right back here. What did you take out of it?
Nothing. I was
okay. All right, listen. Just come back here. I think we're getting off on the wrong foot, okay?
Because I'm really confused on why I'm getting stopped.
He's got several warrants.
Okay, that has nothing to do with me.
You don't know who's in the car.
Nobody's in my car.
Well, now I know that.
Alright, let me rewind the thing back. Alright, boom. So the man's pulled over, the policeman's
Just bring
pulled
your bag
over.
out here. Ma'am, stop going through it. You come step right back here. What did you take out of it?
Nothing. I was
okay. All right, listen. Just come back here. I think we're getting off on the wrong foot, okay?
Because I'm really confused on why I'm getting stopped.
He's got several warrants.
Okay, that has nothing to do with me.
You don't know who's in the car.
Nobody's in my car.
Well, now I know that.
There's a thing called joint enterprise. If you are with a criminal, then you get tarnished with that brush. Whether it's right or wrong, it is what it is. Yeah? So if you're with someone that has a warrant for their arrest, expect to get pulled over and stopped by the police. Now, she might not know that he has a warrant for his arrest, probably does, but nevertheless, you're with him, so you're gonna get stopped by the police, innit? I had a cousin who, one time, we used to go out to the clubs and that together, and one time, we're in the club or outside the club, whatever. I forgot my Rambo, you know? I said, what? My man said he forgot his knife. That was the last time him and I went out together. I told him, fam, we're not going out together. He's hit me up since, like, I don't know, maybe a couple months after that, whatever. I said, fam, we're not going out together, fam. Because do you know what's going to happen? Yeah? If I'm out with him and he gets into a madness and he stabs someone, I'm going to get nicked for it. I might go to jail. Now, maybe if I'm standing next to him and something kicks off, maybe I can kind of get away with it. But imagine we're driving a car. I'm a driver because I drive. He don't drive. So imagine I'm driving my car and he sees he sees a pagan. He jumps out and goes and stabs his pagan and that, and he kills them or whatever. It don't even matter. If the CCTV pre my car see my Honda Civic just stop in the middle of the road or whatever, or stop at a traffic light and he jumps out, it's going to look like we was riding out. The judge and the jury, they're too used to seeing young black men driving around in London, jumping out of cars and stabbing people. So they ain't gonna. I mean, I might get some. I might be able to bust case on that because of who I am. I can show them my YouTube channel and say, listen, I ain't about that life or whatever in it. And they could go through my videos, and it's all about what the jury want to believe in that. You know what I mean? So I probably could maybe bust case on that so long as I'm innocent. Because they can go and watch my YouTube channel, they can see, oh yeah, this young man's on the right path, blah, 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 innit? But the average person, they ain't gonna bust case on something like that. You're with a man that's in a crime and whatever, you're gonna get tarnished with the same brush, unfortunately.
However, now I'm gonna address the other problems.
Okay, so you want my bag and all my belongings.
So just step right back here.
Can I use the restroom?
And let you know it's being audio and video recorded, just to let you know.
Okay.
23. If you did have one more, that would be good.
10-4, dispatch any unit near Ewing Drive and for church, Ewing Drive and for church.
Can we step back here?
21 to 23, do you need me code 3?
Negative, just code 2. So it's just in here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, was there...
Well, I'm about 5 minutes from you.
Is this?
Yes. It's probably another bad week. Hey, Mom, I need you to come to Alpha Trinity Lane right here where Sitco is, the Dollar General.
23 to 25.
I just got pulled over because my name is on the car. And he wanted to know if he was in the call me, but he's not in the call me. But I do got weed.
Hey, are you available?
I'm right here in the Dollar General.
I can be in a couple minutes.
Got what is this?
Brick Church.
Brick Church.
And Ewing.
Brick Church.
13, can I have you starting around? You're about 4 minutes away. Disregard on that.
Yeah, I'm not done with that though. Where's your lighter at?
In the car.
13, it says you're about 7 minutes away.
I'll get it for you in a second, okay?
So Ewing Drive, Brick
right there
Church,
in your
and the Dollar General. Can I have you start around 23?
You scaring me.
Thank you.
Yeah, come on.
I never understood this smoking business. Like, I go into people's houses and I do electrical testing on people's houses. And like, I'll go in the yard and I'll say, look, I don't smoke. Do you mind not smoking and that? And I've told them prior to this, like, oh, the test is going to take about 45 minutes. Let's call it an hour. And it's like, how can you not go 1 hour without smoking? Blood, if you smoke, you got a problem, you know? Like, if you can't go 1 hour without putting a fucking cigarette to your lips, there's something wrong with you. It's not normal. And if you're a smoker, I tell you, you're the biggest sheep ever, because no one just wakes up one day and thinks, you know what, I'm going to try cigarettes and that. Do you know what happened? You know how people got into smoking? They was with their work colleagues and with their friends. And like, this could happen with work colleagues especially. 4 or 5 work colleagues always going out for a cigarette break, And then one person gets left behind. Fuck it. Do you want to come? Yeah, I'll come. Or they'll volunteer, I'll come with you lot. And then they try a cigarette and then bam, they're hooked. That's why I don't smoke, you know. I ain't no fucking sheep, blood. Like, that is the worst. You know what? I'd rather someone fucking, I don't know if it's bunny weed is worse, but boy, they're on the same level. They're on the same level to me, man. Smoking cigarettes, that's like the worst habit ever, man. And some of these people's shows I go to, they just stink of smoke and nicotine off the scale. Like, I will carry fucking deodorant in my car, you know, because I don't want to smell of smoke. If I don't smoke, what do I want to smell of smoke for? Like, these people, I don't understand why they smoke, man. Someone write down in the comment section why these people feel like they need to smoke.
Here, do me a favor, turn.
No, hold
turn
on.
around.
Don't put me in handcuffs. I haven't done anything wrong.
Ma'am.
No, don't put me in handcuffs.
See, this is mistake number 1. Yeah? If the man wants to put you in handcuffs, you know what? Fuck it. Let him put you in handcuffs, innit? Yeah? If you want to argue with him, then argue with him. But don't start running off. Did this woman really... Actually, you know what? Let me not talk too bad about her, because you're going to see why I don't want to talk too bad about her, right? But does this woman really feel like she can outrun a police officer? Really? Let's continue.
Get down! Get down on the ground! Down on the ground!
Now, maybe he shouldn't have pulled out a taser on her, because at the end of the day, she didn't pose no threat, i.e., well, she's running away, and obviously she ain't got a weapon, so I don't feel like he needed to pull a taser out on her. He's a man, he's bigger than her, he's taller than her, he will be able to restrain her, pick her up and dash her to the floor if it got to that stage. So I don't see why he needs to pull out a taser on her. He's using a weapon, but she ain't got one. But Yeah, let's continue the video. Let me just check the comments if anyone's. Nicotine can be very addictive when you get started. So yeah, so Dulce David saying nicotine can be very addictive when you get started. Yeah. Well, boy, I ain't getting started, fam. That's shit.
Step out. Ma'am, put the gun down. Put the gun down. 23 shots fired. Shots fired.
Alright, so basically, let me just adjust this. So, because I watched it a couple times, obviously, because I had to just try and prove what was going on. So while she's getting tasered in the car, like she's reaching over in it, so her right arm's reaching over, and she's probably going into her glove box. Because remember, the Americans, them, they drive on the right hand side, so their cars, their steering wheel's on the left hand side. So she's reaching into the glove box, I assume, which is on the right hand side. Now, obviously, us English people, when we drive our cars, we drive on the left side, so our steering wheel is on the right side. So if we're reaching into the glove box, we're reaching onto our left. So anyway, it looks like she's reaching into the glove box or something like that to get her strap. And she pulls out her gun and she starts firing at the police officer. Obviously, as she's pulling out her gun, he's clocked, he's back to his TIG, and they start exchanging. So let me just rewind that. You have to watch carefully though, but this is a clip where you're probably gonna have to watch it a couple times. I'll write down. I'll post a link for this video in this live stream chat now, actually, or in a minute, so you can go and watch it for yourself. So. So you see there, maybe it weren't the glove box, but yeah, her right arm's disappeared now, innit? And that's when she's reached for something. Well, she's reached for her thing, innit?
Step out. Ma'am, put the gun down. Put the gun down. 23 shots fired. Shots fired.
10-4, 13, keep at that code 3.
I'm hit. Step out.
Now, when I first saw the video, and as I said to you, like, I don't know how this woman thought she could outrun this police officer. Well, look how big he is. I think that's why she thought she could have outrun him, because they're both on the, you get me, on the not so trim side, if you want to call it that. I swear, you see when these police officers go for their training, they have to do like it's called like the beat test. I'm sure you don't remember the beat test when you was in school, in secondary school. You have to run from one end of the hallway, the gym, the sports hall, to the other without, within the beat. So the beat might last 10 seconds and it gets shorter and shorter as the time progresses and that. So they have to pass the fitness and stamina test. And I feel like the police officers should have to do it on a yearly basis or something like that, or every 6 months or something like that. Because, come on, what criminal is this guy chasing after, looking like that?
Ma'am, put the gun down! Put the gun down! 23 shots fired! Shots fired!
Wait, did they lick out the glass on the...
Put the gun down!
Yeah, the glass on the door got licked out as well.
23 shots fired! Shots fired!
10-4, 13, keep at that code 3.
I'm hit.
All right, that's it. Clip done. She's dead now, you know. So that woman died. The car went off road, went off. I think it like hit a tree or something like that. She died from her injuries. So yeah, that's why I say I don't want to say too much about her, because obviously they say you shouldn't disrespect the dead or whatever, innit? So yeah, she died. You see, a situation like that could have been easily avoided. Yeah, the policeman might have took it too far by trying to slap her in handcuffs. Yeah, the policeman might have took it too far by tasering her. But that could have been avoided. This is what I'm saying. Like, this is why I made that video about how to handle a stop and search as a black person. Well, it's really not got nothing to do with handling a stop and search as a black person. How to handle a stop and search as a mature fucking human being, not some child. If a policeman stops you, even if he wants to put you in handcuffs, fuck it. Let a man put you in handcuffs. You see how something so simple. If she just behaved herself, if she was compliant and let the police officer put her in handcuffs, even if he's trying to chief her up or it's like he's slightly taking a piss or whatever, she would have still been alive today, you know. But no, she decided to run. That was her first mistake. Then when she was getting tasered, she's trying to grab her thing. Second mistake. Then she started beating off shots at the policeman. Third mistake. Now she's dead. All because she wanted to run away from the policeman. All she had to do was say, fuck it, you know, put me in handcuffs. And do what she does best probably, which is run her mouth. She would be better off letting the policeman slap her in handcuffs, running her mouth, or whatever, and maybe even take his badge number and report him. Now some people say, oh, what's the point of taking a man's badge number? You're better off reporting the policeman taking his badge number than getting chased by the police, tasering the police, getting tasered by the police, then start shooting after the police and get shot dead, or get shot and then dying of your injuries 10, 20 minutes later, however long later. Not worth it. Not worth it. That woman would still be alive today if she just acted more responsible, more mature. But no, I'm going to run away from the police and I'm going to pull out a gun on him when I'm getting tasered. Just stupid. Just stupidness. And she's probably got a ute as well. She's a big girl. She ain't no fucking 18-year-old or nothing like that. Oh no, she could be between the age of 25 and 35. You know, black people, we all look young and that. I know she probably got a ute. So now her ute or her utes don't have no mum. All because first and foremost, apparently there was a guy in the car. So I didn't see no guy in the car. But first and foremost, she's either in the car with someone who's got a warrant, or she's driving someone's car that's got a warrant or whatever. So look, a waste of life. All because she didn't want to get put in handcuffs. Right, let me, just before I go, because I'm going to kick off now, I'm just going to put the link in the description so you can go and watch that video for yourself, yeah? What's the video called? So something to do with, I think, so body cam captures shootout. Yeah, I found it. I'm telling you now, if that was me, that wouldn't have happened. Yeah, a policeman stopped me, yeah, A policeman will put me in handcuffs. Yeah. A policeman who's not tasering me. A policeman who's not tasering me. I will never get tasered by a policeman. Because I don't pose a threat. Not because I ain't a threat to nobody. No, I know how to play the fucking game. That's what I'm saying. People, they claim they're from the streets and that. But if you're really from the streets, then you would have had experience dealing with the police. You know how to play the fucking game. Man, them claiming that, oh, they're real street man and that. But if you're a real street man, if you really was out there on the street, you would have experience dealing with the police. You know how to play the fucking game, fam. You will know, you would have enough interactions with the police to know, okay, if I act this way, this is the response I'm going to get. And if I act that way, this is the response I'm going to get. So yeah, just answering your question, Dose, there. I know I said it again anyway within the last minute, but yeah, she was stopped because there was something to do with a warrant to do with the car or the man that was apparently in the car. I didn't see no fucking man in the car, but something to do with some warrant. But it don't fucking matter what the reason was for him stopping her. It could have been, he could have made a mistake. He could have got the number plate mixed up or something like that. Or it could have been a routine check. It don't matter. If a policeman stop you, even if you feel it's wrong for him to put you in handcuffs, let him put you in handcuffs. Because you know what, the outcome might be that, you know. Not that the policeman shot at her first, but she was reaching for a gun, but just avoid the situation. Avoid the situation. So yeah, if you want to go and watch that video a couple of times or whatever, innit, so. But yeah, I see you left a comment though, so David, about the beat test. Yeah, fam, I remember that. I've done it more recently than secondary school because at my taekwondo club, my instructor used to do it with us now and then. And yeah, it's good. So yeah. But yeah, I'm coming off in a minute, yeah. Oh yeah, so yeah, let me just read through some. Obviously, I ain't gonna bait out who's who on the Blue channel and that, but this is why I just felt compelled to make this video because some of the comments I read on the Blue channel, like so underneath the comment section of this video, I was reading some of the comments. I'm like, bro, these people, their mentality is fucked, fam. Where's that comment? There was one chick that left a comment, yeah, saying good on her, about time people shut up the pigs. But that girl's dead now though, so what was the fucking point? Like, this is the mentality of people, you know, talking about good on her, about people should shoot up the pigs and that. What kind of foolishness is that? Just dumb. Yeah, one white guy said, I've tried to run from the feds as a white man and they tasered me. How are you going to tell me he would have handled it differently if she was white? That's what I'm talking about. Black people feel like they really are treated differently compared to white people when getting dealt with by the police. They're not treated differently, you know. Black people react differently. So the police don't treat black people differently, it's black people react differently. That's why they end up in positions like that. Like, how are you gonna get killed during a fucking stop search? Come on, fam. Just stupid. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm out, people, yeah?